Your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Cannabis bills tabled in the House. The law will allow for cannabis use for medicinal and religious purposes. Police seizing 15 firearms, ammunition, and police investigating the country's latest murder. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of the new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we will tell you about a special event, post-Mother's Day event with the Yellow Elder Association. And later in business, it's International Day for Women in Maritime. We're going to be talking about a special event happening today. Give you all the details about that. That first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a compendium of bills to create a framework for the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes, tabled in the House of Assembly, citing the role that cannabis can play in the management of pain. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville said the bills represent a transformative moment in the history of healthcare in the Bahamas. He said, quote, "We are driven by a simple yet profound principle. Doing nothing for those with debilitating medical conditions is not an option, especially when there is a path to alleviate suffering and bring relief to those who endure daily challenges that most of us can only imagine." In addition to the cannabis bill, Darville noted, which Darville says is the centerpiece of the proposed legislation, the compendium includes the Cannabis Regulations 2024 bill, the Medical Cannabis and Recognized Jurisdictions Order, the Dangerous Drugs Amendment Bill, the Dangerous Drugs Application Order, the Dangerous Drugs Prescription of Minimum Amounts Amendment Rules, the Health Professions Amendment to the First Schedule Order, and more. You can read all about that in today's Nassau Guardian. The bills would create a controlled system for cannabis use for medical and religious purposes, overseeing all aspects of the industry from cultivation to distribution. And the new legislation would remove cannabis from the list of dangerous drugs and allow for the expungement of records for individuals convicted of the possession of 30 grams or less of Indian hemp. The legislation would allow the prescription of cannabis for medicinal use to provide relief from cancer, HIV/AIDS, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, PTSD, autism, sickle cell anemia, anxiety, depression, and other conditions. Also from the House, parliamentarians debating and passing a resolution for the conveyance of 1.35 acres of land in central Abaco to the Abaco Meta Center Limited for some to be agreed by the Minister of Finance that is no greater than $50,000. Prime Minister Philip Davis said the land will help in the effort to expand quality healthcare across the country. F&M leader Michael Pintard noted that the opposition supports the resolution. However, St. Anne's MP Adrian White said it would be prudent for the government to disclose the ownership of Abaco Meta Center. Former Prime Minister Dr. Ibrahim is heading out at the government's plans to build a specialty hospital in Western New Providence, telling Parliament that it is the wrong project in the wrong place with the wrong price and the wrong workers. His words. That hospital will be funded through a $290 million concessional 20-year loan from China Export-Import Bank with an interest rate of 2%. It's to be located off New Providence Highway near residential communities. Well, Minnis yesterday in the House accusing the Davis administration of selling out the Bahamian people over the deal. He criticized the Chinese funding for the hospital and Chinese labor component that will come along with it. He also questioned how many Chinese workers will be used to complete the project. He's asking for details of an arrangement with Arawak Homes to secure a portion of the land for the hospital as well. A man wearing an ankle bracelet found in a pool of blood with apparent gunshot wounds in a building that is under construction. This was in Grand Bahama off Midshipman Road in Freeport. Police say construction workers yesterday making that discovery when they arrived at that location and reported the murder shortly after 9 a.m. No one's in custody in relation to the matter at this time, but police are appealing to anyone with information to come forward. While police said the man's identity has not yet been formally confirmed, they say he was not a native of Grand Bahama. Police confirming that the victim is known to police and was wearing an ankle monitoring device. Police say this is the second murder in Grand Bahama for the year. A Jamaican man who committed multiple robberies in February 2022, sentenced to 6 years in prison as part of a plea deal. Winston Walker will be placed on probation for 1 year once he's released from prison. He's liable to 2 years imprisonment if he's convicted of any other offenses while on probation. Walker pleaded guilty to 3 counts of armed robbery and 1 count of attempted armed robbery when he appeared before Justice Gregory Hilton. He admitted to robbing a man of a car, cell phone, and a black Wi-Fi box on February 25th, 2022. The incident took place outside Primetime on St. Albans Drive. On February 8th, 2022, he robbed a woman of a cell phone and attempted to rob a man of his 2019 Honda Civic at Yamacraw Beach. And on February 25th of that year, Walker robbed a man of a Nissan March, a cell phone, and a Wi-Fi box. Also from the courts, a man telling the jury yesterday how he was robbed at knife point following a fender bender. Luda Petit Frere took the witness stand in the case of Richard Spence, Levio Brannan, and Deontay Ferguson. He testified that he was driving on Ackland Street in Coconut Grove when he ran into the back of a car occupied by 3 men on August 27, 2019. He said the men demanded payment for the damage to the car. They took him to his home where they took $636 in coins, $1,700 in cash, and tools with a value of $3,470. Petit Frere says he later identified the assailants when police showed him a photo array. And police are requesting the public's help in locating the driver responsible for killing a 29-year-old man in a traffic accident. This happened over the weekend, shortly after 4 a.m. on Saturday. Additional inquiries made by officers that the vehicle in question, believed to be a silver Honda Fit, was traveling when the driver struck the man, who was operating a blue and white Yamaha motorcycle traveling south on Market Street. The driver fled the scene, but police say the vehicle should have noticeable damage to the end and windshield. And police seizing 13 pistols and 2 high-powered weapons, along with a large assortment of ammunition and suspected marijuana after executing a search warrant on a residence in Sandlands Village. Police say that around 10:30 a.m. Wednesday, officers from the traffic division observed the driver of a black van driving in a dangerous and reckless manner. This was on John F. Kennedy Drive, and they stopped the man. Officers conducted a routine name check and vehicle search, uncovering a quantity of suspected marijuana and several outstanding traffic arrest warrants for the 30-year-old driver, who was taken into custody. Officers then got a search warrant and searched the driver's residence and discovered the weapons, ammunition, and dangerous drugs. The estimated value not immediately known. Overseas, Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to China starting today, underlining an increasingly close partnership between the two allies who oppose the U.S.-led democratic order. China, led by President Xi Jinping, has offered robust diplomatic support to Moscow after its invasion of Ukraine and has emerged as a top export market for Russian oil and gas, helping fill the Kremlin's war coffers. Russia also has relied on source of high-tech imports to keep its military machine running. Once communist rivals, the two countries share a 2,600-mile border and have become closer in recent years. And Slovak politicians have called for calm in the Senate. Prime Minister Robert Fico was shot multiple times by a would-be assassin Wednesday, a rare instance of political violence that prompted soul-searching among leaders in the deeply divided society. Fico was in serious but stable condition Thursday after the populist leader was hit multiple times in an attempt on his life that shook the small community across the continent weeks before European elections. A suspect is in custody, and the Interior Minister says that an initial investigation found a clear political motivation behind the attack on Fico while he was attending a government meeting in a former coal mining town. The Interior Minister did not specify what the motivation was. Fico has long been a divisive figure in Slovakia and beyond, and his return to power last year on a pro-Russian, anti-American message led to even greater worries among fellow European Union members that he would abandon his country's pro-Western course. And anti-Islam firebrand Geert Wilders and three other party leaders agreed on a coalition deal early today that veers the Netherlands towards the hard right, capping a half year of tumultuous negotiations that still left it unclear who would become prime minister. The Hope, Courage, and Pride agreement introduces strict measures on asylum seekers, scraps family reunification for refugees, and seeks to reduce the number of international students studying in the country. The 26-page document says, quote, deport people without a valid residence permit as much as possible, even forcibly. The sun will shine again in the Netherlands, in what it called the strongest, with hard right and populist parties now part of or leading a half dozen governments in the 27-nation European Union. They appear positioned to make gains in the bloc's June 6th through 9th election. Wilders has been a political ally of radical right and populist leaders, including those in Hungary, Italy, and French opposition leader Marine Le Pen. In sports, the biggest primary school track meet in the country, now just days away, set for May 21st through 23rd at the original Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. The Frank Pancho Ramming Primary School Track and Field Championships, held in conjunction with the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture, bringing some of the top primary school athletes in the country together. It will be held under the theme, Ringing a New Era of Sporting Excellence. Almost 50 schools throughout the country, about 15 from New Providence, 34 from the Family Islands, set to compete in the three-day track and field championships. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. Joanna Evans, one of the more decorated swimmers in the Bahamas and in Bahamian history, and the first Bahamian woman to swim in 3 events at a single Olympic Games, is out of competition for an additional 2 years after her World Aquatics ban for positive test back in 2021 was increased by 2 years in March. A disheartened Evans says she was looking forward to returning to the Olympic stage, where she wonderfully represented the Bahamas in Rio and again in Tokyo. A global doping panel ruled that Evans didn't knowingly take a banned substance in 2021, but was significantly negligent in adhering to anti-doping protocols. She's consequently received the 2-year ban. Now out for an additional 2 years, the future is unclear for the 26-year-old swimmer Bahama. Evans claims to have been mistreated and dehumanized in her dealings with WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland. And Bahamian WNBA player Jonquel J.J. Jones turning in a strong performance for the New York Liberty in her 2024 season debut, and theirs as well Tuesday as they were able to get past the Washington Mystics. The Liberty won 85-80. Jones scored a game-high 25 points on 10 for 17 shooting from the field. She also showed her range, going 4 for 8 from behind the three-point arc. Jones added 8 rebounds and 2 assists. From the NBA, the Celtics heading to the Eastern Conference Finals for the third consecutive year, getting past the Cleveland Cavaliers 113-98 last night. And Luka Doncic posting 31-point triple-double as the Dallas Mavericks topped the OKC Thunder to take a 3-2 series lead, beating 192 last night. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Got your first look at weather this morning, brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We've got a severe weather watch and warning in effect until 8:30 this morning. The severe thunderstorm warning now includes Abaco. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the Berry Islands as well. The Department of Meteorology says that their lightning detector radar and satellite imagery shows that the organized line of heavy showers and embedded thunderstorms moving across the warning areas. Showers and thunderstorms associated with a robust line of shower activity, prefrontal activity as well. Some of these showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times, causing gusty winds, dangerous lightning, heavy downpours, and waterspout activity. So as we said, this is bringing some much-needed rainfall as a result of this system moving through. Additional prefrontal activity will introduce another round of showers and thunderstorms across the area today. Elsewhere, a weak surface ridge will dominate, keeping conditions fairly dry and hot, unfortunately. So, for the northern Bahamas, there is a risk of flash flooding in flood-prone and low-lying areas during periods of heavy or prolonged rainfall. Everybody's being advised to remain hydrated and avoid prolonged sun exposure during peak sunshine hours due to the high heat and UV. And the potential for brush fires remains elevated in the northwest Bahamas. And due to the ongoing brush fire or wildfires associated smoke will mean a reduction in air quality for some areas. Plus, we've got a thin layer of Saharan dust moving over the archipelago. That's going to produce slightly milky skies and affect people with respiratory issues as well. So a lot going on today, folks. For today, for the northern Bahamas, especially the extreme northwest Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, look for mostly cloudy, overcast, and very warm conditions with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Variably cloudy and warm tonight with a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near showers and thunderstorms. Wind southwest to west at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. For the rest of the Northwest Bahamas, that includes New Providence, Eleuthera, Andros, and the Berry Islands. And for the Central Bahamas as well today, look for partly cloudy conditions, very hot, a bit humid with a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms by this afternoon, mainly over New Providence and Eleuthera. Partly cloudy and very warm tonight with a chance of a south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, falling to 10 knots or less by late afternoon into tonight. Seas 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, we're looking at partly sunny, very hot, humid conditions, slight chance of isolated showers, becoming mainly fair and warm tonight. Wind southeast to south at 10 knots or less, occasionally falling light and variable at times. Seas 2 to 4. Temperatures today getting up to 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but that heat index will make it feel like it's 103 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a very warm 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. Right now, Nassau, it's about 81 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies. That is your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. This first look at weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. First there was BYD, then Jack, now Radar pickup trucks by Geely are joining the all-electric family. With 8 years of experience and 3 quality brands to choose from, there's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales, home of the electric vehicle. Visit easy242.com to see all the many options for ditching the pump and driving electric. It is time for a break. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Here's to the go-getters, the early risers, and the late-night dreamers. You, the visionaries, painting futures in your mind, in your studio, your office, your sacred space. Here's to the adventurers, explorers of every realm. To you, the innovators, turning the cogs of progress. In a world where connection is a lifeline, a pathway to possibilities. Alive is the perfect connection for everyone, every lifestyle. Every day.
Visit BeAlive.com today.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrades from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne Gardner.
Good morning. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be talking with you again.
Same.
Twice.
Feeling is mutual.
Twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. All right, so we got a lot to get to this morning. We've got, coming up in our 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with the Yellow Elder Community Association. They have a special post-Mother's Day event coming up. They'll tell us all about that. Then later in business, did you know today is International Day for Women in Maritime, Laverne?
I did not know.
Did you know that was a thing?
I did not know it was a thing. So, I get excited. I love to learn new things. So, yeah.
All right.
Did not know that.
We're going to learn more about that, learn about women in maritime here in the Bahamas, and tell you about an event that's happening today. So that's all ahead. But let's in the news. And in the news, finally, I guess some will say, I've been waiting for this for a very long time. The cannabis bills tabled in the House, many sweeping proposed changes, mainly allowing for cannabis use for medicinal and religious purposes, but also some of the bills will help to expunge the records for people who've been convicted of possession for small quantities, and will make that possession of small quantities not a punishable offense. All right, so let's get the details on what was tabled yesterday in the House. Take a listen to this report from our Vani Toot.
Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville has tabled in Parliament legislation for the establishment of a regulated medical cannabis framework in the Bahamas. Darville said the compendium of bills demonstrate the commitment of the Davis administration to create a legal medical cannabis industry that is safe, effective, and beneficial for patients in need of alternative treatments. Included in the legislative package is the cannabis bill, which Darville said is designed to control systems of cannabis use in medical treatment.
The bill establishes the Bahamas Cannabis Authority, a regulatory body overseeing all aspects of cannabis management and cultivation and distribution. The authority's mandate is to ensure that cannabis production and use are safe, controlled, and effectively integrated into our healthcare system. Accompanying this is also the Dangerous Drug Amendment Bill, which reclassifies cannabis by removing it from the dangerous drug list and recognizing its potential for medical use.
Cannabis legislation also includes provisions for licensing cannabis handlers across various categories, including cultivation, transportation, manufacturing, and Darville stressed that licensing is structured to prioritize Bahamian ownership, with provisions ensuring that significant control remains in the hands of Bahamians.
We stand on the brink of transformative movement in the history of healthcare in the Bahamas. We are driven by a simple yet profound principle: doing nothing for those in pain with specific debilitating conditions is not an option, especially when there's a path for alternative treatments to alleviate suffering and bring relief to those who endure daily challenges that most of us can't even imagine, and it is our duty to act.
He added the bill also establishes protocols for individuals who seek to violate the laws. Darville said the government also intends to table the Health Professional Amendment Bill, which would modify existing laws to incorporate the medical use of cannabis.
It outlines the qualifications and training required for healthcare providers who will prescribe, dispense cannabis, ensuring that they are well equipped to offer this treatment with safety and responsibility. That healthcare professionals who handle cannabis must go through training, focus on its therapeutic benefits and potential risks. Furthermore, The Hospital Healthcare Facilities General Amendment Regulations have been updated to ensure that facilities equipped to handle cannabis meet stringent health and safety standards.
He says regulations specify how cannabis can be stored, handled, and administered within healthcare settings, while ensuring patient safety is always prioritized. Health Minister added the Pharmacy Amendment Bill will also play a crucial role by establishing protocols for the dispensation of medical cannabis.
It creates a new category of pharmacy called the Cannabis Dispensary, which is specifically licensed to handle and dispense cannabis without oversight by licensed pharmacists. This bill ensures that all dispensing procedures meet high safety standards and dispensaries maintain accurate records of cannabis transactions to monitor usage and prevent abuse.
Well,
I grew up on.
Okay, very interesting stuff. Already getting some messages, Laverne, about people suspecting plenty of people are going to be sick, very sick in the country in the near future. Many disorders popping up. I also think,
though, you know.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, sure.
It's not like you could just, you know, you'll just be able to say, "Oh, I'm sick." You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, before I get myself in trouble, I mean, there are plenty.
You're gonna have to.
There are plenty, I think,
be,
sadly,
you know,
plenty medical professionals who might go along.
Well,
with,
I don't know that.
From what I've heard. But what I think is going to really happen, I remember, let me tell you a little story. Back when I was in junior high in the late 80s, I remember a teacher asking all the boys in the class what they wanted to be when they grow up. And if there were 10 of us, out of 10, not me, so I was special from that time, 8 out of 10 said they wanted to be pilots. I didn't know at the time what that was all about. I thought that was interesting. Well, all of you want to be pilots, but it was the late 80s. Who can figure that out what that was about, right? I suspect the new Bahamas, you're going to have a whole lot of people who want to be pharmacists. Everybody's going to school to study pharmacology. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't get that feeling. I don't get that feeling. And you know what? I could be very naive, and that's fine if that's, you know. But I don't get that feeling. I think that, of course, there are always loopholes if you look hard enough. But I think that I don't think that we're going to get a lot of people, quote unquote, suddenly being sick. And if we manage this well, I think it could work.
Well, it's either sick or everyone's becoming a Rasta. So one of those. But
does the bill, you know what I mean? Let's look at the bill in its entirety. I don't foresee any of that.
Okay, I'm glad you don't. So let me just read this again. You heard this in the report. Just want to emphasize this, though. The legislation would allow the prescription of cannabis for medicinal use to provide relief for individuals suffering from illnesses like cancer, HIV/AIDS, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, post-traumatic stress disorder. And I see that's very broad. Autism, sickle cell anemia, anxiety, and other conditions. The legislation would also allow for the use of cannabis as a sacrament by followers of the Rastafarian faith when handled under a religious use license. Under the legislation, only Bahamian citizens 21 or older or a legal entity that is at least 100% owned by Bahamians will be able to apply for a license to handle cannabis. And of course, the minister says this is coming after widespread consultation. And again, you heard in the report, he says this is mainly to help those suffering, those in pain, debilitating pain, to alleviate their challenges, their symptoms there. Let's get your reaction to it, folks. Again, it's a long time coming. When will this pass? We'll see. Hopefully we'll know soon. But let's hear. Are we ready for this? You're ready to go. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. And Laverne, yet they say there's a pilot shortage. Wow. Imagine that, how things change.
Well, maybe those 8 out of 10, all of them didn't become pilots.
They certainly did not. But
Right.
a couple, though. Tweet is 4796. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. What say you? Are you there? No? Okay, let's take the other call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Hi, good morning. Something going on. We can't hear them for some reason. Okay, we're going to work on that to figure out what's going on, and then we'll get it together. Are you there? No, not hearing anything. All right, let's see if we can get that sorted out. Let's read some. This is a text. My glaucoma is already flaring up. See? But you could see to type that, though. Anyway, this person says, I will vote for any government that will repeal this cannabis bill and in its place put a bill that people really want because what was tabled is not it. What do you mean? What is it that you really want? What are you saying? Tell us more. This person says here, people with suicidal tendencies and depression shouldn't reveal themselves to doctors to this medical substance. That's a question. I don't understand what you're saying. Who said that they shouldn't? I don't know if marijuana is going to help you with the suicidal tendencies. Okay. But, all right. They need to take it a step further and table recreational. Don't calm down, Dexter. That's going to be a long way.
Yeah, I don't foresee that happening.
Anyway, so they said, they go on to say, so many of our industries can profit off that alone, but that wouldn't pass anytime soon for the fear of the devil's lettuce. I don't think I've ever heard it called that before. Devil's lettuce. This one says here, you don't need to be a pharmacist, you just need to know one. Well, I guess. Well, but no, they can't. You have to have a prescription, so they can't.
Right.
Right. So you need to
It
know a
isn't
doctor.
like you could just walk into
Right.
a pharmacy and be like,
Yeah. No. Yeah. All right. We got this sorted out as yet? We might need to call our engineer to see if there's something going on. Okay. The caller, no? All right. Yeah. See if you can reach the engineer and get that. So the lines are all lit up, but we're having a little issue hearing the caller. So let's see if we can reach out. This person says here, Dwight Laverne, I think this bill is a step in the right direction, and also I think it should go further and decriminalize small amounts of marijuana and make it a ticket of defense. Well, that's what... did you not hear that? Yeah. So under 30 grams.
Yeah.
30 grams or less. Yeah. So small quantities. And they're going to expunge records as well. So instead of passing...
Did we hear that?
Say that again?
Did you read that part?
It was in the report. I did read it. Yep, it did say
Okay.
that. Let's read it again. The new legislation would remove cannabis from the list of dangerous drugs and allow for the expungement of records for individuals convicted of the possession of 30 grams or less of Indian hemp. All right. Instead of passing the rape bill, I think you mean marital rape, yeah, the government passes the cannabis bill. How come we didn't have a referendum? I don't think this is needed, as that many kids are overdosing in school on cannabis, are they? But I heard many government officials have their hands in the cannabis business, growing marijuana trees on acres of land. What?
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's kind of wild. Question, if records for possession are now going to be expunged, is recreational use by default now legal? Would it make sense to expunge all records, then go in and charge a whole new batch of people who then also, well, again, it's small quantities. If you have a whole...
It's not like if you get caught with pounds and pounds of marijuana, they're going to expunge your record.
Right, not like this guy who was found yesterday with all this. No, not like that. If you seem
Right.
to
A
be
couple of
trying
days ago here in Grand Bahama, there are 4 people arrested Right. No. That's for
No,
those
no,
found with small quantities.
exactly.
Speaking though.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be used. Possession of small. If you have a whole room full
If you
and you
got
don't
a
have a
conviction.
license, you're going to have a big problem. Right?
Right.
If you don't have a license to have that whole backyard filled with the trees, you're going to have a problem. So, yeah. But the texter goes on to say, everybody will have anxiety and depression now. I'm also sad. That's the texter saying that. Do doctors prescribe marijuana for depression? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
See,
I don't know.
everyone's got jokes
So
this
let
morning.
me ask you a question. Like, now that this bill is being tabled, do you feel like you need to start smoking marijuana?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
But I don't know why you would ask me that. But no. So I don't smoke anything. I've never have. I think I never will. Yeah. So what about you, Laverne? Since you're asking people questions, what about you? Will you? Right? We all have medical issues. Would you use this? Would you seek it out
no.
from a doctor?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not right. Let me say this. The condition that I have, no, I don't think. I don't think so.
And
that's never been offered to me as an option, locally or otherwise. And no.
Okay. What about if a doctor recommended it?
If the doctor recommended it, then it'll be on the table for consideration.
Okay.
As my doc, no, and I say that, and let me tell you why I say that. As my doctor's listening, I'm one of those people that don't, okay, the doctor recommends this, okay, I'm going to go and get it. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
I'm already one of those people. Like, what are my options? Are there holistic recommendations as well? Let me do my research. So I never want to just take a prescription and run with it. That's how I am.
Okay, all right. So you're cautious.
Yeah, I am.
Very smart. All right. This tech, I have to drive to work in all this traffic. I could use something to soothe the pain. Everyone's got jokes. This is serious stuff, people. This is serious stuff.
Bahamians. We always got a joke.
My goodness. I think your co-host is being funny. She knows this is the land of lawlessness, and it's who you know and how much you're spending. We all know about the, oh boy, they're calling it, I don't know. Oh, okay. A certain place, but they find marijuana important, but freedom of information isn't. Again, it's for the people who are sick, the people who are in pain. You got to help them. So that is important too. Maybe this bill will make us, as a people, more relaxed. Well, if you're sick. Why are you acting like you're under fire? You didn't pass the bill. Who's acting like this? Everything in the country has become corrupt, and you think that this cannabis will not be abused? I'm the one who told you everyone's going to be sick.
Yeah, let's make it clear. Dwight was the one.
Right, I told you that. And everyone's going to try to be.
Text this for me.
We got maybe. And I tell you, we got a bunch of people studying law and biochem in college, but they're going to be studying pharmacology. That's going to be the thing. That's going to be the hot thing in the Bahamas. Young people will find. Okay. Sounds like you need to go and do your own research on the subject of medical cannabis. Secondly, the responses from the public show that the misinformation about cannabis has deep roots. Okay, what research do I need to do? What is it that we said that wasn't accurate? Please enlighten us. No, you can't say that recreational use would be legal, but possession of small quantities, very small, would not result in you being sent to jail.
Right.
Now, it's not.
You'll probably be fined. It is prison,
maybe,
right? They said maybe ticketed or something like that.
Well,
so
it depends.
It's not,
it depends.
Yeah. Right. So it appears that there will be depending on the amount, some sort of consequence. It's just that it won't be a prison sentence, or you won't have a record because of it.
Yeah. This person says, you guys are the fourth estate. Keep the pressure on. Our country is a rich country, and many of our people are catching heck. You ever tried getting your license and TCC? What's that? It's so much red tape, but the passiveness soon stop watch. Okay, that's a lot of just words.
You
there.
lost me on that.
Very
last
much so.
part.
But keep the pressure on. That's what I got from that. Okay. I got a lot of marijuana experts weighing in. What does an employer do when their employee says they need to take their medicine at lunch and then they come back from the lunch break high and can't function properly? Oh, boy. That's a very interesting question. Laverne, what do you think of that?
I really don't.
Let's try the phones again. Let's see if we got it up.
And then let's also consider that how does that work? How does that work for companies that require mandatory drug testing?
Hey, that's a lot. That's a lot to think about. Good questions.
Yeah, sometimes even before, depending on where it is, when you're just even at the interviewing process.
Yeah. Well, you got to declare, hey, I'm on this. I've been prescribed this, so this is going to be in my system, just so you know. In oil form is better for me. I don't like smoking, but I want to get rid of the constant pain daily. The oil is better. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if these phones are working. Caller, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning, Dwight.
There we go. Good morning.
Good morning, Laverne. How you doing, ma'am?
Good morning.
Dwight, everybody have jokes for real this morning.
Seems so.
Two things. Does the legislation address, for example, there are some jobs that require you to produce a drug-free screen, i.e. public transportation, for example. That's a part of obtaining insurance to operate your vehicle. A negative screen means that you don't get approval from the insurance company. Who addresses that? And there are several Rastafarians, actually, that are in public transportation. So which aspect of the legislation supersedes the other in that regard? But from time immemorial, Dwight, arguably or not, it's been proven that with some illnesses, marijuana, the plant itself, not the dispensaries and whatever additives and preservatives they put in the product, have been beneficial to people that are suffering with major illnesses. Why are we just at this conversation? And this is from a non-marijuana smoker. I mean, I don't understand it. There's an opportunity, even economically, for us to do some things, and has been there for quite some time. Why are we just addressing this? And why have successive parties, governments, tossed this around? It seems like a political ploy, man. Thanks for allowing me to contribute.
Okay, thanks a lot. Calls earlier. Call us back. The phones are back up. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, Laverne.
Morning.
I'm feeling high.
Oh, boy.
So high.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Y'all got that song, Rita Malik?
Well, this text is saying medicinal cannabis does not make a person high. I wouldn't know, but I can't imagine.
One thing with Bahamian, we are so slow, and we always behind the 8 ball. The Rastas are smoking dope now. People who smoking dope, even though it's illegal, they doing what they doing. They know where to get it from. Who is this thing really, really, really geared towards?
The people who are sick.
Pardon me?
People who are sick. People who are in pain. People who really need help.
Medical cannabis is already law. That has been established a long time ago. All they do is throw that in the bowl of conch salad for us Bahamians who ignorant to know that medical cannabis is already legal, basically all around the world. So that don't move me. What is happening, Dwight, is the oligarchs, the big boys, the ones that ain't through the corner in the whole house pushing dope and have people peddling dope are now going to become where the money is. Come on, my behemoths, we got to be faster than this. Everybody who's smoking don't doing it now anyway.
Oh boy.
Come on, man. We really need to be faster with our thinking, critical thinkers. It's for the rich fellas to get, to grow the fields, to make the big money. You know how much money marijuana make? Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's take one more call, and I want to read something else for you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan. Good morning to Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
I totally agree with the last caller, Mr. Strachan. We really need to start thinking. You know what I mean? We really need to start thinking, man. I mean, come on, man. It's a plant, Mr. Strachan. It's a plant that offers more benefits than it does negative things, right? It doesn't kill. You know what I mean? So my question is, why should it be illegal in the first place, right? Because, and another thing, Mr. Strachan, I really want to know more about that religious license. Because when you on the radio, when you have the taste testing of the wines and different stuff, you don't need a license to taste your wine and drink. You know what I mean? Customer or whatever I am, if I'm an adult, if I'm a grown adult, I shouldn't need a license to smoke a plant, Mr. Strachan, that I could grow in my yard. As a matter of fact, I should be allowed to grow that in my yard. You know what I mean? Because you shouldn't be able to regulate something like that, like how the previous caller say, for the only logical reason is because you want to control it, because the plant should not be illegal at all, because there are too many substances, Mr. Strachan, that I can go and readily buy at the store, that I can come home like alcohol and sit down and literally kill myself with a bottle of rum. All right, now, the caller said...
We got a lot of plants that can kill you too, though. We got a lot of plants that can kill you too, so that argument... We got a lot of plants that can kill you.
But that plant, the plant that can kill you is not marijuana. All right, Mr. Strachan, not by consumption, but alcohol can. Okay. All right, now, like I said before, even, and I appreciate the caller who spoke and said he doesn't even use the substance. We need to start to speak common sense, Mr. Strachan. All right, we need to start to say, something that don't make no sense, because we cannot allow individuals to be making laws that benefit them and cause the rest of us to suffer as a result. All right, come on now, we need to stand up. The plant should be illegal. Should be made to be legal, period. And I should be able to take a seed, and I should be able to grow my own. It should be legal, and that should be my right. Thank you very much.
Right. Well, it looks like the world is heading, some of the world is heading in that direction. It's not going to happen overnight, of course. So I want to read this very quickly. This is from the Tribune. So they got some numbers in here. And this is some interesting stuff here. All right, so this is their article on this bill. The bills also disclose for the first time the cost of licenses under the cannabis regime. Initial license fees would range from $1,000 to $5,000, while annual license fees would range from $500 to $14,712, depending on the license type. Members of the Rastafarians community had criticized the previous draft bills for limiting cannabis use to a tabernacle or a place of worship, with many practitioners saying it is uncommon for the substance to be used in such areas. Under the latest bills, people unaffiliated with a Rastafarian organization can get an individual license permitting them to consume cannabis in a secured area in a private residence as a sacrament. Okay. Rastafarian organizations must be incorporated as non-profit organizations to obtain a religious. Rastafarians who get an individual license cannot use a substance in a public place, distribute or sell it to another person, or possess more than 30 grams at any one time. Similar rules apply to Rastafarian organizations. Unlike the draft bills, the revised legislation guarantees a position on the Bahamas Cannabis Board to a member of the Rastafarian faith. That board would manage the Bahamas Cannabis Authority, overseeing all aspects of cannabis regulation, including creating policies, issuing licenses, and ensuring law compliance. The board would comprise representatives from government, medical, and pharmaceutical professions, agricultural, business, and finance sectors, academia, and the faith-based and civil society communities. The revised legislation allows medical practitioners to prescribe cannabis to patients from other countries without performing in-person medical assessments, as long as that patient presents a medical cannabis card from a recognized jurisdiction like Canada, Australia, Barbados, and several states in the United States of America. Just several? Okay, interesting. Under the cannabis regime, licenses include a cultivation license to permit the growing, harvesting, and packaging of cannabis, a transport license to deliver cannabis within the country. I think we heard that part already. Yeah. Cultivation, retail, transport, and religious use licenses will be reserved for Bahamian citizens 21 years or older, or companies that are 100% beneficially owned by one or more Bahamian citizens. Analytical testing licenses, manufacturing licenses for which one or more Bahamian citizens beneficially owns at least 30% of the company. The initial fees for cultivation, religious, and transport licenses are $1,000. For manufacturing, retail, and research licenses, the initial fee is $3,000. For an analytical testing license, the initial fee is $5,000. Non-refundable religious use annual license fees are $1,000 for organizations and $500 for individuals. For cultivation purposes, the non-refundable annual license fee is $2,944 for nurseries, $9,800 for micro cultivation, and $12,600 for standard cultivation. The non-refundable annual fees for manufacturing, analytical testing, research, transport, and retail licenses are $14,712, $7,356 again, and $9,800 and $14,712 respectively. Anyway, a lot of money. $14,712 applies for up to 3 vehicles. For each additional vehicle, the fee is $7,400. Wow. For licenses, there are administrative fees for security vetting, electronic database and tracking software service, and inspection fees. The costs range from $2,400 to $200. All right, so there's a few more things here before we have to take a break. This person says, this is in the article again, still from the article. Key provisions that are unchanged in the new bills include that those found with more than 500 grams of dried cannabis would be presumed to possess the substance intending to supply it to others and could face a fine of up to $250,000 or imprisonment of up to 10 years if you're found with more than 500 grams. Or both, the fine or the prison sentence. Possessing cannabis with the intent to supply to a minor could carry a stiffer penalty of up to 20 years imprisonment. For those who supply, sell, or distribute cannabis, those could face various penalties depending on whether they are convicted on information or through summary conviction. In the first instance, they could face a fine of $100,000, imprisonment for up to 7 years, or both. For summary conviction, they could be fined up to $50,000, imprisoned up to 5 years, or both. And under the legislation, it would be unlawful to promote cannabis or cannabis accessories. Legislation amending the Dangerous Drug Act to reclassify cannabis as a controlled substance compendium of bills. So Dr. Darville said that this change aligns our national laws with evolving global perspectives on cannabis, acknowledging its medical value based on current scientific evidence. Yeah. All right, let's get your reaction to that. Continue to call in, Laverne. Some big numbers there. It's going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money being made. And
possibly.
Yeah. Okay, we've got the people revealing themselves. Lots of information coming in. Wow, this is a lot. Okay. Everybody knows about this stuff, Laverne. You and I.
Lost.
We need to get with it, I guess. People tell me how much 30 grams is and how long that'll last. Like, what? Okay. Let's see if we can take this call, and then we'll get to some of your text messages. Caller, good morning. Are you there?
Pleasant good day. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
To your point earlier, I think everybody wanted to be cargo pilots back in the 80s.
Yeah. Indeed.
To make 3 points. One, I try to figure out why, because most of the world making it legal. Why are we doing it? And too, it's like there's another. Once we said only Bahamian personnel can open or start a dispensary, we know what comes along with that foreign investors who partner up with Bahamians to put their name on it and open up certain names, and they push it because they got a Bahamian backing. And then thirdly, it's like, this remind me of the gambling referendum that just don't benefit the majority. I don't think we had that much people dying because they didn't have the use of marijuana use it. So why is this a priority for us to pass now? Those are some of the things across.
Well, many have been calling for it, though. Many have been calling for it. They really didn't want to have to go to the guy on the corner to get what they needed, and so wanted a more organized way to get what has been prescribed to them, perhaps.
I said that maybe that may be one of the situations, but like I say, does it benefit the majority of the country?
Now, what does that mean?
In the long run?
What would that mean? How would it benefit the majority? You mean where everybody could just sell and plant and distribute and transport?
That's a part of it, because, like you said, like only Bahamians would be able to license it, but we know there are foreign investors who partner up with Bahamians to push it, to push businesses. But I'm saying, in the long run, does it help or does it hurt the country in the long run? Because we don't know what the usage of marijuana in most cases does. It's like people saying, hey, alcohol don't make people drunk. We know certain things that comes along with it, but I say it's just my opinion on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Guys, enjoy your day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We've got a whole lot of text messages, Laverne, and we got a statement from the BPA, the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association. It's pretty long. I don't know if I can read all of this, but we're going to get to that as much as we can after the break. We got some guests as well. We've got a lot to get to on this Thursday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're going to be back after these messages and the news here on Guardian Radio. Stay with us.
Rules the nation with version. Music and sounds so really make you rub and scrub. Sang badang badang biddly bang biddly bang bang biddly 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 bang. I say, pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun. Give me the music, make me jump and pump. It a go done. Give me the music, make me jump. It was a cool and lonely, breezy afternoon. How does it feel when you got no food? You could feel it cause it was the month of June. How does it feel when you got no food? So I left my gate and went out for a walk. How does it feel when you got no food? As I passed the dreadlocks camp, I heard them say, how does it feel when you got no food? Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun. Give me the music, make me jump and prance. It a go done. Give me the music, make me look inna the dance. Bang bang biddling bang biddly bang 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 biddling bang biddly biddly bang. So I stopped to find out what was going on. How does it feel when you got no food? 'Cause the spirit of Jah, you know He leads you on. How does it feel when you got no food? There was a ring of jets and the session was there in swing. How does it feel when you got no food? And you could feel the chill as I seen and heard them say.
This is Guardian Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:26, it's time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. All right, so we were under a severe thunderstorm warning, parts of the Bahamas, Northwest Bahamas, under a thunderstorm warning and a thunderstorm watch that is to expire at 8:35. We'll see if that gets renewed, but up until 8:35, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Grand Bahama and Abaco, and a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the Berry Islands. There's a lot going on today weather-wise. So this system, it's prefrontal activity. That's bringing some much-needed rainfall to the Northwest Bahamas, and another round of showers and thunderstorms expected across the area today. But elsewhere, we've got a weak surface ridge that is keeping conditions dry and hot. So there are a number of warnings today for the northern Bahamas. There's a risk of flash flooding in flood-prone and other low-lying areas during periods of heavy or prolonged rainfall. And everybody's being advised to remain hydrated and avoid prolonged sun exposure during peak sunshine hours due to the high heat and UV indices. And there is potential still for brush fires that remains elevated in the Northwest Bahamas. And because of the ongoing brush fires, the wildfires, expect a reduction in air quality for some areas. Plus, we've got a thin layer of Saharan dust, and that's going to produce slightly milky skies and may cause folks with respiratory issues to have some problems today. So, for today, for the extreme Northwest Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Bimini, look for mostly cloudy to overcast conditions, very warm with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Variably cloudy and warm tonight with a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Showers will be locally heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. For the rest of the Northwest Bahamas and the Central Bahamas today, look very hot and humid conditions with a few isolated showers and a slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms, mainly over New Providence and Eleuthera. Partly cloudy and very warm tonight with a chance of a stray shower or two. And for the Southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, very hot and humid with a slight chance of isolated showers, becoming mainly fair and warm tonight. How warm is it going to be? High is around 93 Fahrenheit, 34 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 103 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to a warm 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook, on Friday, a frontal boundary will gradually enter the northern Bahamas, supporting a few showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms, mainly offshore, before it weakens and dissipates over the area by late Friday. And a weak ridge of high pressure will slowly build behind it, restoring the settled, dry pattern across all areas by the weekend. And it is a holiday weekend, folks. So Friday, tomorrow, partly cloudy to partly sunny, hot and a bit humid with a chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over the northern and northwest Bahamas. Mainly fair and warm at night. Saturday, partly cloudy to partly sunny, very hot and a bit humid with a chance of a light spotty shower, mainly fair and warm at night. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. It's time for a check of traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee auto loan with up to 100% financing. In your real-time traffic, that Milo Butler Highway corridor, that whole area, including New Providence Highway, looking busy for you right now. We've got heavy traffic from well south of Bellet Road, straight through the Fire Trail roundabout, straight up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway, and then picking up again as you get closer to the Six-Legged Roundabout. So that's northbound there, eastbound on JFK. And so we got some issues on Farrington Road as well, some traffic there. Back down to Milo Butler Highway near Fire Trail, heavy traffic both directions, east and westbound. Heavy southeastbound traffic on Harold Road, Tonic Williams Darling Highway. And then at Saunders Beach, we're seeing heavy eastbound traffic on West Bay Street as you head toward the roundabout with New Providence Highway and exit Bay heading toward Arawak Key. So that area, again, looking busy for you. Elsewhere, we've got Gladstone Road. Some heavy traffic as you get closer to the roundabout with John F. Kennedy Drive if you're heading northbound. And Blue Hill Road is busy for you at multiple spots, especially near St. Vincent Road and Carmichael and north of Soldier Road on the way to Independence Drive. Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound this morning. And East Street looking busy north and south of that roundabout with Independence Drive and East-West Highway, especially if you're heading northbound. So north of Soldier Road, straight through the roundabout, and straight through to Robinson Road. Then we've got Eastern Road, as usual, heavy traffic just east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road, and Soldier and Robinson, as usual, heavy traffic at that intersection and westbound on Robinson. Those are your hot spots right now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/carloan/all of you for more information.
RBC. Are you buying a home, renovating, or exploring mortgage options? With cash back and up to 90% financing, we'll find the perfect mortgage for you. Pre-qualify in just 60 seconds and get connected with a mortgage specialist today. Visit rbc.com/mortgages/all of you. RBC. Conditions apply.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
In the world of business, technology is for businesses that demand excellence. There's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Are you seeking exceptional health care beyond the traditional hospital setting? Introducing Doctors Hospital Clinics, your trusted destination for comprehensive care. Our full-service locations provide affordable services through our Loyalty Advantage membership program and NHI. Experience seamless care with our integrated health system, where your medical history travels with you, ensuring continuity of care. Book an appointment today at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
RBC is a bit for all of you. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC is a bit for all of you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
You hear what Boss Man was saying in the back there just now? About what? The luncheon? Why you always worried about food? No, about how we gotta pay a little more for national insurance. Mildred, you talking food. I can't afford to pay that. And you're always crying, palm out. Ain't gonna be much. Boss still gotta pay. 1st of July, 2024. I benefit is what did help my boy Tony through the pandemic. That same unemployment benefit. And guess what? What? Susan, I think she'd get a pregnancy benefit, eh? You mean maternity benefit, eh? So now, we gotta do our part to make sure we get our pension. All right.
For more information, visit NIBrateincrease.com.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun. Give me the music, make me jump and pump. It a go done. Give me the music, make me jump in the It was a cool and lonely, breezy afternoon. How does it feel when you got no food? And you could feel it 'cause it was the month of June. How does it feel when you got no food? So I left my gate and went out for a walk. How does it feel when you got no food? As I passed.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with the Yellow Elder Community Association. They've got some big events coming up. They're going to tell us all about that. Laverne, they're in studio already, so they might hop in on as you wind down the discussion on the cannabis legislation. Text messages, we want to get to those, but also, as I told you before the break, we got a message from the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association. It's quite lengthy, so I can't read all of it, but let me read as much as I can. The message says, I'm sure by now most of you would have seen the media reports concerning the cannabis bills being tabled in Parliament. The BPA wishes to set the record straight with some facts. 1, the government only invited the BPA to one session of consultation last summer, which we attended. 2, the BPA received a draft from the Office of the Prime Minister in the fall And after we held several consultations with membership, we forwarded a formal response to the Office of the Prime Minister in December 2023. That document was also forwarded to the BPA membership. 3, since December 2023, the BPA has not received any communication from the government of the Bahamas concerning these bills or our formal response and recommendations in that document. 4, last week I was informed the government held meetings with hand-picked representatives about the bills. Wow. But the BPA was excluded. I reached out to the president of the Medical Association and was informed that they also were excluded. Wow. These are the facts. As with the price control matter, the government has changes to the pharmacy sector without consulting with the official body that represents our profession. It has chosen to ignore serious concerns that we raised and instead has chosen to take counsel from persons who, for the most part, have extremely limited experience and even less direct investment into how our profession actually performs. The BPA will once again seek to intervene as best we can in the best interests of our members and the profession. To be clear, the replacement of direct pharmacist involvement in the dispensing of medical cannabis can only be seen as the first step in the attempt to replace one of the key roles of pharmacists in patient care. I don't think I got it. Did you get that, Laverne? Is that what this bill is saying? I don't
Didn't
think
get it, but I'd probably need to read that, and see maybe if it's inferred in some way.
All right, so let's read that again. This says that under the legislation, only Bahamian citizens 21 or older or a legal entity that is at least 100% owned by Bahamians would be able to apply for a license to handle cannabis. Okay, well, that's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is...
right.
Yeah, definitely.
It didn't say a pharmacy or a pharmacist.
Right.
It says a person 21 or older.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right, so I take back the fact that everybody's going to be trying to become a pharmacist. Well,
Doesn't look like you don't have to.
No, right. You might not. You just need some money, which is what many people thought was going to happen in the first place. Okay, let me read this again. This is from the BPA. To be clear, the replacement of the direct pharmacist involvement in dispensing of medical cannabis can only be seen as the first step in the attempt to replace one of the key roles of pharmacists in patient care. I know a small but vocal number of pharmacists believe that by supervising cannabis dispensers, they can make more money, but they are only facilitating the death of their own profession. If undertrained staff can dispense a controlled substance without the pharmacist, how long will it be before the requirement for pharmacists to dispense all medications is removed? Well, I don't know about that one. Okay. This short-sighted greed will be the downfall of the profession. Think about how ludicrous this really is. They want persons who will take a 3-month course to dispense a controlled substance. I urge each of you to think about the larger consequences and do not allow for the allure of what seems like easy money to blind you. The best way for medical cannabis to be used in healthcare is for the professionals best equipped for healthcare, physicians, nurses, and pharmacists, who actually need the medication, in concert with all the other medications they will be using. I will close with this. I've practiced for 25 years with one mantra. I treat every patient as if they were my own mother. Would you want your mother to be getting a controlled medication from an unqualified person off the street who has no knowledge of all the other medications she may be using? Well, every Bahamian is our mother, and we owe it to all of them to protect their health. That's from the president of the BPA, the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, Dr. Marvin Smith. Wow. Okay. So there you go. You got to read these things very carefully. You cannot make assumptions. So that really is not quite what we were thinking this was going to be.
No.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Well, as I always say, Dwight, the devil is in the details.
Absolutely. That really does. And as we
so that
remember,
puts a different light on it.
Very much
I
so.
really did not pick that up.
Yeah.
Now,
And as you see with
I
those,
can understand their concern.
With those fees, it's going to be people with a good deal of money who will be in this market, and And this is what that caller was saying before, right? This is going to shut out a lot of people. Maybe not the people he was talking about, but some other people as well. All right, so that's a very interesting wrinkle in this. Let's take this call really quickly. We want to get your text messages, and if I guess want to chime in before we get to them, they can as well. Caller, you are on the air.
Thank you, Dwight and Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, it looks like reality and realism has been displaced one more time again, eh? Because I haven't heard Dr. Darville or any of the doctors who we had representing us in Parliament talk about prevention, talk about the endocrine system, how you prevent the degenerative condition in the first place. But we have experienced some doctors, like Dr. Sabi, who used to smoke weed, and he polluted his lungs because your lungs shouldn't have pus in it because you put smoke in it. You know, it just shouldn't happen. Bob Marley, big-time smoker, he messed up his lungs. But we seem to overlook the fact that putting things in your lungs, foreign in your lungs other than pure air, is going to eventually clog it up, and you're going to have tuberculosis and all. So here we go again. Why don't we legislate the lymphatic, the proper massaging of the lymphatic system so that we could move the poisons that's around our neck? You know, you sometimes get a kernel once in a while that's in our chest, move it into the bloodstream, and then defecate it or urinate it out. How come I don't hear them talking about that in Parliament? You know why? Because Big Pharma is in their head.
Yeah.
It's all, and you just hit the nail on the head. The devil is the detail. He ain't in it. That's what it is.
Wow.
Okay?
All right. Well, only a few of them are medical doctors, so I don't think the others are qualified to speak about that. But those conversations are definitely happening. Are people listening, though? That's the question. That's the question there. Okay, let's read these messages really quickly. So to understand clearly, they will expunge the records of those previously caught with smaller amounts, but the use of medical marijuana is what is being legalized. Yes. So does this mean that those who are continually caught with smaller quantities moving forward will not be penalized? In a way, it appears as though the recreational use is being enabled as well. Small quantities. You don't want to call it like that because if you go over, you're going to be in big trouble. So it's not quite. There are major limits.
But is the texter saying, like, can you always, like, one person always be caught with a smaller amount? You know what I mean?
What were they doing catching
like
you?
How many times?
Why are they catching you so
like
frequently?
How many times?
Why are you being caught all the time? What are you
I'm
doing?
just saying. How many times?
Every day the police are searching you?
But the question should be asked, Dwight, how long will it take before they expunge these records? Because we've been talking, and going to the boards, and going through the motions, and these are young men and young women who are trying to get themselves back together again in society. Because, you know, once we have characterized you as a particular thing, it's difficult for them to integrate themselves back into society.
Yeah, we'll see. That's Dundas Munnings. He's going to be one of our guests for the next segment coming up. I'm weighing in on this. All right. Why is Christian and who on that council wants a dispensary? Hey, there are a lot of sick people in the churches. So maybe it's best for them to sit in the corner and be quiet.
But the thing about it is, Dwight, is this. Look at our big brothers in the North. We're traveling to the U.S., so our standards are set by the U.S., right? So we're looking at, in a modern time now, we're having dispensaries that are in the U.S. now. We're having cafes and so forth of that nature, right? So these are the ones who set the laws or the regulations in regards to what they deem as legal or illegal. And so we are following the pattern of them. So now we're following the pattern. We have persons that are traveling to the U.S. and seeing and realizing that I can travel to the U.S. if I can get a license and I can go into a dispensary and I can go and get whatever it is that I need to get. And that is the standard now in regards to the cannabis. So we at home now saying, hey, the world is changing. But is the Bahamas going to jump in front of the ball, or are we going to stand in the back dorsal like dinosaurs? What are we going to do as a country? Mm-hmm. And then if there is going to be some beneficial things that is going to be done to it, how are we going to gauge who gets it? Or is the same elite going to get the same things that they've been getting? Are the oligarchs going to control what's going on now? Or are you really going to say that regular Bahamians or Bahamians who have been in the service of this thing have an opportunity also because they've been in the legal field and now they have the money or they are able to? Wouldn't they be the specialists now?
Well, there's going to be a board that we'll get to determine. So it's not just the money.
Price of
You got to
what?
have the money and you got to have the right look, perhaps.
Is it curly hair?
So, oh, wow. Oh, I don't
Like
know.
what? Like
I don't
so
know.
who was the board comprised of?
Well,
How do you get on the board? What are the criteria?
if you're asking, that means you won't be on it.
I wasn't invited.
No, you're not
If
invited to be
I
on
didn't
it.
get an email. Let me check my spam.
Right? No. You would know already.
No,
I'm
I didn't
sure.
get an invitation. And we have to also recognize that this is a work in progress. Even our neighbors to the north don't have this all worked out, right?
Not yet.
Because they're about what? Not every state is it legal for recreational use.
Or even medicinal.
Or even medicinal.
Right.
Not every state.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we have to really look at this and see how it will do the most good.
Yeah.
And, as I mentioned to you off air, why, what about, does it speak to industrial hemp at all?
Mm-hmm.
Does it speak to industrial hemp and the use of hemp in building products and all of that, which is a very lucrative area?
Yeah.
And if it does, who's going to benefit?
Now, we've heard
Just
the
saying.
Attorney General speak about that before. I don't know if it's in this legislation as yet. We've got to, as you said, dig through this to see. But that is definitely something that has been talked about quite a bit. This texter, as we get ready to go to the break, this texter says here, Dwight, it seems like people have a problem with behemoths becoming millionaires because of this bill. That's ridiculous. Well, I don't think that's what it is. People are concerned.
Will we become millionaires?
No, but who will get to become? If there is money to be made, who will get to make the money? That's the issue. And
or is it going to just be more jobs for us?
But the thing is are we more concerned about more jobs, or are we looking at the statistics in the country in regards to how many Bahamians have become millionaires under any administration? And this is something that we have to look at. The Americans, brothers in the North, they have a quota in regards to how many persons should be millionaires.
What now?
They have quotas. They have quotas.
Okay, well, I mean,
how many Bahamians have become millionaires? We're looking at Bahamians that have
evidence to support that claim.
We have Bahamians that have gone abroad and whose parents are telling them, stay abroad, don't come home. These are our great minds of our nation. How much of them are becoming millionaires?
But the health minister is telling you this is not about that. This is about healing, bringing relief to people who are suffering. It's not about becoming rich or anything like that. The focus is on healing those people or
it starts off with the hospital that we currently have and the conditions that they're currently running.
Where you going?
It is what it is.
Wow. All right, there's a whole lot of text messages. We aren't going to be able to get to all of it today, but I'm sure we're going to have a lot more to say, especially with that response from the BPA. Yeah. So this is a big.
We got to see how we can get them on the show, Dwight.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with the Yellow Elder Community Association. They're going to tell us what they're up to. And this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. Pass the dutchie on the left hand side. It a go bun.
Give me the music, make me jump and prance.
It a go done.
Give me the music, make me rock inna the dance. Bang bang middling, bang middling, bang 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 middling, bang middling, middling bang.
So I stopped to find out.
At Wendy's, we are different. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Attention ice cream lovers. Are you ready to elevate your springtime indulgence and taste of luxury with Haagen-Dazs? For a limited time only, treat yourself to the quality of Haagen-Dazs ice cream for just $8.99 per pint. Yes, you heard that right. Indulge in the finest flavors without breaking the bank. Visit Lickety Split and Super Value locations. Experience the premium quality of Haagen-Dazs at an unbeatable price. Spring has never tasted this good.
Are you a business owner or HR professional? RF's team of pension specialists are here to empower your employees with market-leading retirement solutions and to make implementing group pensions easy and cost-effective. With RF, starting or switching your company pension plan is a breeze, and there are no setup fees. If you're looking for strong investment performance and low fees, visit rfgroup.com/empower and empower your team to retire comfortably with RF Group pensions today. That's rfgroup.com/empower.
The signs are clear. It's time to pay less for your current mortgage by switching to Scotiabank. Enjoy lower interest rates and no payments up to 2 months when you switch to Scotiabank today. Plus, we'll even pay your switch costs. It's that easy. Ready to switch to Scotiabank? Call us today at 242-356-1697 or visit bs.scotiabank.com to switch your mortgage to become mortgage-free faster.
Here's to the go-getters, the early risers, and the late-night dreamers. You, the visionaries, painting futures in your mind. Your office, your sacred space. Here's to the adventurers, explorers of every realm. To you, the innovators, turning the cogs of progress. In a world where connection is a lifeline, a pathway to possibilities. Alive is the perfect connection for everyone, every lifestyle. Every day.
Visit BeAlive.com today.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me. If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, it only cares for joyful giving. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel. There are dreams, stop existing and start living. Then it feels that always love's enough for us growing to make a better world. Heal the world, make it a better place.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And I'm coming up in business as we are talking about International Day for Women in Maritime and a special event happening today that's coming up in just a few minutes. All right, so right now, though, the Yellow Elder Community Association got a special event coming up here to tell us all about it. Very pleased to welcome back to the show President Nevolia Johnson and Public Relations Officer Dundas Munnings. Everybody, good morning. Good to have you with us.
Pleasure. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
All right, so let people know about the Yellow Elder Community Association if they don't remember the last time you were here.
Okay, the Yellow Elder Community Association is a part of us in the community where we do things, where we celebrate our mothers. Like this time around, we're having our Mother's Day. Post-Mother's Day, that is. Post-Mother's Day luncheon. That's coming up on the 19th, which is Sunday coming, where we're going to celebrate our mothers throughout the community. We're going to honor at least 70 mothers on that day.
How many?
70.
Wow.
We're going to 70 mothers.
70.
That's right.
Okay.
These mothers starting from age 109. We have a mother within our community. It's Mildred Robinson.
Amazing.
She's 109 years old, so we crowned her, crown community a few years ago. So we're gonna bring her back again this year, and we're gonna honor her among the 70 persons that we have chosen, persons from the age of 70 years old. So anyone within the community, Dwight, that we know of that are age 70 and over.
Wow.
We're gonna
That's
honor
pretty cool.
you with a nice gift to show how much we love and appreciate
Wait, so all those being honored are over 70, or the ones over 70 get a special gift?
All of them. We have something for all of those
Okay.
persons.
Excellent.
It's about 50 of them so far.
Yeah.
Okay, we identify 50 mothers throughout the community,
Mm-hmm.
and the age is ranging from 70 to 109. And they
Fantastic.
are so much excited. We get to talk with them, we give them the invitation, and for those who has been coming for the past few years, because we was having this now for some time now.
Mhm.
They're very much excited and very much looking forward to it, because we have a grand time.
Yeah. So where is it going to be on Sunday?
Okay, Sunday at Tom de Grand's Park. That's the park that we normally have, our biggest park within the community. We're going to have a really good time.
What time is it going to be?
It's going to be at 3 o'clock.
Mhm.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. What can people expect out there?
Oh, great performances. Great guests, great lineup, great music, great food. We're going to have a buffet line with just lone sweets, plenty drinks, music. We're going to have a wonderful time, Dwight. We normally do,
Mhm.
And the persons within our community, they're truly looking forward to, what's happening, because they know they're going to have a grand time.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it important to do this?
It's important to do this because we want to recognize persons throughout our community. We want to recognize persons and let them know that they are persons who truly cares, persons who truly want to make an impact, make a difference. And Yellow Elder to us, Dwight, is home. We're no stranger there. We know everybody there, We know the street number. We know from the beginning of Yellow Elder, which is Lawrence Court, to Nicholas Court.
Wow.
Nobody is no stranger. We all know one another. So anyone who in need or who looking for assistance, they know where to find it, because we are all one. And we have 4 events. We took 4 events that took place in Yellow Elder through our community association. We had the Valentine, which was in February, and now the upcoming Mother's Day. And then following that, we have our Father's Day event, which we did last year. It was wonderful also. We recognized those guys in Yellow Elder. And then the last one being Feed the Kids. We do that in September. We
Okay.
feed our children as they go to school that first week.
Right.
So we always doing something in Yellow Elder. We love Yellow Elder. We love the people in Yellow Elder. And we,
Excellent. Excellent. And he said the response has been great to all of these.
very much so.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
much so.
See, Dundas is being quiet. He talks a lot, but he's quiet right now. What's
I'm just listening to my president, and as she speaks a lot about our association. With my experience within the Yellow Elder community in regards to the village, I look at the community as the village, because it's like the older persons in our community, they help bring up the other people's children. And it's very important that you have a tight-knit community of that nature, because I've seen that would produce from those communities. We have had policemen, we have defense force, we have accountants. We have a variety of different persons or professionals within our community. We stretch ourselves out to our neighbors and try to make our neighbors. We have the crime watch. We have different things that we started within our community association within Yellow Elder, because, the stigma on Yellow Elder at one point in time was a bad stigma. Like it was a bad place where the bad boys dwell. And the thing about it is nobody seemed to talk or highlight the positive things that are going on in that community. The young man that goes out every morning and do the job, get the job done, who's reaching out to the younger children and say, hey, y'all, instead of y'all going doing something mischievous, come in the basketball court. Let me exercise you. Like we have a coach, we call Coach Gotta Love It. His name is Rakino Rakino Watson. So Rakino Watson has been dealing with the kids over the years through the association and through just the environment of community. And literally the program that we have in the association is like summertime. We have about 150 children that come for like 2 months. Literally, we host them for like 2 months. And the kids love it, because before if they did bad in school, before they even start the program, they have to do at least 45 minutes within the work progress of going over the things that they did wrong or they might have got wrong. Because we have little teachers and stuff like that on their breaks. They render assistance through the association. So it's a lot of different things that are going on. But like I said, the negative things sometimes are highlighted a lot, and the positive things goes unseen.
Yeah.
So with the association and Mr. Volia Johnson as our president, I tell them I could go to war with her any day of the week because she is a person, she is very persistent, and she makes it her business to ensure that things are being done. And she's following up that things will be done. You know, so even reaching out to the mothers in the community, we honor you, we see you, we appreciate what you have done. You know, you're the backbone of what's been going on. You know, we want you to come out. Let's come out. And the lady that's 109, that's my grand auntie. I hope I could live a little bit like her. Because she's still in a sound mind, by the way. So when you talk about the Yellow Elder Association, we're talking about one of the original templates of community organizations that have now proven themselves statistically to do things that most people now learn or desire to want to be like.
Yeah, wonderful. So let me ask you this: can with the many programs you're offering, can people outside of Yellow Elder partake in this, or is it just mainly for the people who live there?
Right, it's just
Get a little closer to the mic.
It's just mainly for the
Yeah.
persons who live in Yellow Elder. But what they do is they could bring a guest because it's normally admit one person.
Okay.
So if you have a family member, like some of the ladies who's paying on it, they have a family member who don't live within the community. They're allowed to have them accompany them. And we wouldn't have been able to do none of this if it hadn't been for sponsors. So
Yeah.
I'd like to take this time
Please.
to recognize persons like who has always been our sponsors throughout the year. They're the persons who collect the trash from the community. You know, they've always been there for us. So I want to take this time to thank Bahamas Waste. I want to take this time also to thank Caribbean Bottle, that's Coca-Cola. I want to take the time to thank Providence Technology in the Harbor Bay Shopping Center, and also the Dames Group. That's our former minister, Minister Marvin Dames. He has always been there, always sponsoring us, even though he's not there no longer. You could always reach out to him, and he's there for us. Also, Superintendent Antonio Lavardi. He was the former president of the association.
Okay.
He's been there also. And Dr. Haston Johnson from BDOC. That's the Bahamas Department of Correction.
Yeah.
I also want to thank those hard-working association members and committee, you know, because truly we wouldn't have been able to do none of this without those persons.
Wonderful.
The cooks, you know, the person who preparing the food during the decoration and working hard on that day. I just want to say thank you very much.
Excellent. So again, 70 mothers to be honored on Sunday, and again 3:00. Tell us where again.
It's going to be at Tom the Grants Park. It's a park adjoining to A.F. Adley High School.
Yeah, great stuff. So you're all always busy because you said Father's Day is coming up. You're going to be honoring fathers as well.
And then when the school starts this program that we have created.
Wonderful.
So, you know, I like to tell persons like when Novolia reaches out to you, please just render some assistance because it goes a long way. Because with the Feed the Kids program, when kids are able to go to school in the morning and they can stop and be assured that breakfast is on the side, they have the tent set up and we have the breakfast set up, and literally that the children can get their breakfasts in the morning. And I mean, that's nonstop.
Excellent.
I mean, so that's like really, really big because I think that breakfast is the start of the day.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not feeding that body physically, how you expect them to take in the information within the school mentally, you know, if they're hungry? Because we have a lot of situations within our communities, whether we like to say it or not, there are people that go to school hungry.
Yeah, it's a great model for many other communities in our country. Keep up the wonderful work. I know you all wanted to say something. With a lot of debate on the proposed hospital, which is not far from your area. Navoli, what's your view on that?
Okay, my view is that the hospital is like a neighboring, or not too far from where we live, because you know Stapleton is adjoining to Yellow Elder. And I have no problem in it, Dwight. If they walk in my yard, I won't have a problem. That's how desperate we are in need of extra health care.
Yeah.
You know, because we're in a serious problem when it comes to health care. You know, that's one of the problems that we face. So I think I give the government thumbs up for that. And I think it's a wonderful idea. And, you know, it's really great. No problem with that.
Definitely. I think it's a great idea in regards to the government, the New Day government, moving forward with the medical facility in regards to children and mothers. I think that will help with the influx of persons that are currently going into PMH in regards to any injuries and things that are happening. But if we have the facility now where mothers and children directly can go to that particular unit, and any major other situations can go to PMH, I think that'll help.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people concerned though, worried about property values, noise, traffic, but you're not concerned about it. You don't.
Right. As far as property value, shit goes up.
Mm-hmm.
It should go up.
The thing is, Dwight, people are always going to complain, and that's something that I find that they're going to complain whether you do good or you do bad. My thing is it in the best interest of the people? Once something is done in the best interest of the people, I think then up the road we can really see the benefit from it. Because at one point in time with the road diversions, we do this, and now you can get from Carmichael Road to Western Espionage in a matter of minutes. Regards to,
what do you mean, like at 3 a.m. or something?
Because there was
Carmichael.
There was a time when there was a blockage of hills, Curry. You couldn't go through it, but now that you can drive straight through it, we could be there in a matter of minutes.
Oh boy, well.
And next is going to be overhead passes.
That's a sore subject, the hills. But okay. But hey, progress. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Thank you so much for being here this morning. You want to say one more thing?
I just want to take this time out. Normally when we come on the show, we show the invitation out to persons who live within the community. If you so desire and you want to be a part of what we are doing, persons who are listening, you could also reach out to myself. I live on Major Road. You could ask anybody for me. Everybody know me in Yellowell. And you could join us in doing this good work. Let us unite and let us come together to assist each other.
Sounds wonderful.
Well, Dwight, I want to say just thank you always for being the person that you are, looking out for individuals who are doing the positive things within the community and doing their part, and you do your part in regards to getting the message out there. And I must say thank you for always opening the window and the door for that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Navolia Johnson, Dundas Munnings, and keep up the great work you're doing at the Yellow Elder Community Association. And have fun on Sunday. Have fun on Sunday. All right, we're going to break for news really quickly, and then when we come back, Morning Blend Business. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Tired human race, there are people dying. If you care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me. And the dream we were conceived in will reveal a joyful face. And the world we once believed in will shine again in grace. Then why keep strangling when this earth crucify its soul? Though it's plain to see that this world is heavenly, be God's love and fly so high, let our spirits never die.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's a new day.
evening and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, May 16th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Laverne, we lost you there, but you're back?
I'm back. Power is still out though, but yes, I'm back.
Yeah, so there's bad weather up there, right? In Grand Bahama?
Yeah, a lot of a lot of lightning, thunder, rain has started again, and the power has gone out.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Well, hopefully that'll get sorted out soon. Okay, so today is International Day for Women in Maritime. And
Actually, it's on Saturday, May 18th.
well, what date is this?
Today is the 16th.
I'm in a different world. Okay, so Saturday is International Day for Women in Maritime. So it's coming up. Did not know that there was such a thing. Right. But that's what we're going to talk about this morning. You heard the voice. It's Leah Davis there. And we've got Ikarsha Smith with LJM Academy. Welcome. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Good morning. Good
And
morning.
Leah, you're representing the Bahamas Maritime Authority.
Correct.
Okay. Great to have you all with us. International Day for Women in Maritime.
Yes. So I'll tell you, I'm new to maritime, and so I'm learning as we're learning. So the Bahamas Maritime Authority, we're hosting this event today, but if I may, the IMO, which is the International Maritime Organization, they actually observe International Day for Women in Maritime every year on May 18th. And so this day celebrates women in the industry and is intended to promote the recruitment, retention, and sustained employment and raise the profile of women in maritime, strengthen the IMO's commitment to the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which is gender equality, and support the work that we all do to address the gender imbalance in maritime.
Right.
So that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
So
big
today-
goals there.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So gender imbalance, we're sure, because I don't know if a lot of people think about women in maritime. Let's talk about that. Ikarsha, I guess you could tell us more about that. How much of an imbalance is there?
Well, based on, I think, a study in 2021, there are less than 2% female seafarers in the industry.
Less than 2%.
Less than 2%, right? And most of them who are in the industry tend to go towards the cruise industry for different reasons. Because you do have options to work on tankers, cargo ships, oil rigs, etc. But for women, working on cruise ship is a little bit more comfortable. You don't have as many issues as working completely male-dominated, even though the industry is very much male-dominated, but the cruise industry is definitely more lenient with the issues that females may have.
Wow. Right. So let's talk about some of those professions that that can be considered. Again, you're the dean. I need to put that in. The dean
I'm
of
the
LJM.
academic dean at LJM Maritime Academy, so where the old Coral World was.
Right.
So we offer different courses, Captain A, Captain B, STCW, and persons who would be interested in working internationally, then they can join the cadet program. And that's a 3-year program. So 2 years on campus, and then they go out to sea for 1 year. So that's where they do their practical experience, and it could be on tankers, cruise lines, cargo ships, etc.
Is that 2% reflected in who's enrolling at LJM Maritime Academy?
No, actually, this year we have 16 females out of 46. So at least that
almost
1/3, over
Right.
1/3,
Yeah.
yes, females. And we definitely have to recommend Disney Cruise Line because they've been giving 4 scholarships to females every year, and that's full scholarships. So females are definitely getting into it, and not just the deck, they're also interested in engineering. So that's really, really commendable.
Let's talk some more about those professions, though, the sectors that you're seeing women express interest in.
Okay, so they're working as yacht captains, quite a bit in yachting.
Wow.
Quite a bit in port management, chartering, brokering. So you don't just have to work out to sea.
Right.
Shore-based options. Also, they're doing things as procurement. I find a lot of Bahamian females are doing procurement, assisting the yachts with what they need, even assisting them with finding, say, flowers or purchasing groceries. That's still all maritime related, even though it may not be working on
And
the
it's
ship.
a full-time job.
And it's a full-time job.
Wow, okay. Yeah, a lot of people aren't haven't thought about these things at all.
No, they just think, okay, going out to sea for 9 months at a time.
Yeah.
But you can do that for a while and then transition shoreside.
Yeah. So what are the females in your programs? Do you know what they're interested in as yet, or are they just
A lot of them are interested in working on cruise lines.
okay?
Quite a bit in engineering. They also want to work on cargo ships. Tankers also is an option. There's a lot of money. There's risk, but there's a lot of money also in tankers. But it all depends on the person. You know, if they find themselves want to travel and go to those nice exotic ports, then yes, you probably want to go into cruise lines. But if you're interested in just a goal, then you're just going to go tankers. You know, get that money.
Tell
and
us more
then
about that. Like, what
transition.
type of things you're going to be doing if you're working on a tanker?
Well, on a tanker, you're still deck or engine. So as a deck officer, navigation. So making sure that there aren't any collisions. Your main job as a navigation officer is collision avoidance. Also communications. So back in the day, you had a communications officer, you know, Morse code. That's no longer the case. So there's one officer who also deals with communication. So if there are any issues or any other ships, there's abandoned ship or there's a fire, you also need to communicate with that other vessel. Also, weather comes through that channel. It's called GMDSS. That's a Global Maritime Distress Safety System that they also get their license for. So as a deck officer, you get your COC. That's a Certificate of Competency and a GMDSS license.
Okay.
And you
Good morning. For students who may be interested, but they live, does LJ Maritime also have housing?
We do not at this time, but we're working on that. But we do assist students in finding housing.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are a student in your high school and you're thinking about this, what are some of the courses you should be taking? What do you recommend? to folks?
Math, definitely. Science. You should be very strong in mathematics.
Wow. And you mentioned the money. Like, how much money are you talking about? How lucrative is this?
Well, starting off, straight out of school, you can make, say, $5,000 a month starting off. I've had friends who... Starting off,
Okay.
right? I have friends who graduated from college. In a year, they made $100,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A year after college.
A year after college, yes. It's a very lucrative industry.
And I'm
It's
curious,
a lot
that's
of
on the
work.
tech side or on the...
On the ships.
Okay.
Working on ships
Working
as
on
officers,
ships.
right. So
Awesome.
you need to be an officer. There's a rating option. So you'll be an able-bodied seaman or an ordinary seaman, oiler, wiper, and it's a much shorter course. So persons who are not really sure if they want to stick in it long-term, I'd recommend to do the rating course. It's only 4 months. You can go out to sea, see if this is something that you really, really enjoy, and then you can continue the program.
Yeah. And with that, you're saying like 9 months on the ship and then the rest of the year is yours, or does it vary?
Yes, it depends. Some
Okay.
ships are 9 months. Some may do 6 months, and some may do 4 months on and off.
Wow. And you're working every day, or you have days off too?
Well, you work every day.
Every day, okay.
Right? And it depends on the ship. Sometimes you would just do the navigation for every day. All right? They have shifts. And you also may have another job. So for me, I was a safety officer. So responsible for firefighting equipment, like this, along with the navigation. I always was jealous of the engineers because they always had Sunday off. And whenever they got in port, they were off completely.
Right.
Because once the engines are off, they don't really need to be there.
Yeah.
Just one person.
Oh, so tell us about your journey then. What made you get into this? How did
Well, I always loved the water.
Uh-huh.
I'm a water baby. I swam competitively. My family's from Exuma. And if it wasn't maritime, it would have been marine biology.
Okay.
So I went to SUNY Maritime in New York. I got my bachelor's in marine transportation and master's in international transportation management. So I knew eventually I wouldn't want to sail forever because, you do want a family life. So I chose international transportation management, which is like supply chain, logistics. Like I said, there's chartering, brokering, because even though the ships are out to sea, there's a whole team,
Right.
shoreside, who has to make sure things happen, get those contracts, look for bunkering, those sort of things. So I worked for Campbell Shipping as a third officer. And then I transitioned shoreside. I worked for a local mailboat company in compliance, because the vessels have to be compliant, especially when they're going to the U.S. There are quite a bit of regulation that need to be followed because it's always about safety.
Wow. So what other advice would you give to girls, women who are thinking, this sounds very exciting, I want to try this?
Well, they can definitely reach out to WISTA, and that's the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association. And it's an international organization with chapters in 56 countries. Right now, they have about 3,800 members worldwide. And basically, their goal is to attract and support women in the maritime industry. Right now,
And they're in the Bahamas.
Yes, we
Yep.
do have a chapter in
Okay.
the Bahamas. The president of LJM Maritime Academy, she's also the president of WISTA,
Okay.
and that's Dr. Brenda McClare. And the person who you would contact is Nika Wells, right, at 397-5300, or you can reach out to LJM Maritime Academy, and they would give information, advice, because to keep women in the industry, we need to stay connected, right, to get advice. Everybody doesn't want to learn from their personal experience.
Right.
If you can learn from someone else and they can guide you, then I think women would definitely stay in the industry longer.
Right, right. And are you noticing men's attitudes change towards women in the
Definitely,
industry?
men are changing because they're accepting
Yeah.
that there is a place for women on ships now. Before it was very male dominated, and even now you may find persons, with their sly comments like, "What are you doing out here? You should be home with your children, or with your husband."
Someone ever-
Yes, some have. But you really have to teach them because not everybody comes from a first world country. They come from all over in different countries where they don't work with women. So that's a challenge that you have to overcome. But as time progresses, it's definitely not as much of an issue anymore.
Yeah.
And especially with the companies training, because now they have videos on gender equality and inclusion and diversity. It's a part of training for officers now.
Yeah. Wow, wow. I'm curious. Every industry, including ours, broadcasting, you keep hearing more about AI and AI coming to transform our lives. Is that an issue for the maritime industry?
Yes, it is. They've talked about autonomous ships. So ships,
What?
exactly.
They used to call those ghost ships. No, it's not.
It's a thing now.
That sounds risky.
Like a horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But it is a thing now. So training has to happen in that area. But the industry, maritime, isn't very progressive in terms of technology.
Oh, really?
So they're going to take a while and make sure it's perfect before they actually put that on stream. They're still very knowledge. Someone needs to be at the helm, that sort of thing.
Wow, wow.
I think that I would probably piggyback on that because what I've learned is that it's the most heavily regulated industry, and obviously for good reason.
Yeah.
So, much of the world's cargo travels by sea, as well as we're talking about lives being in danger. And, so safety is a huge priority. And I think that's probably part of why the focus is so much around safety, because the theme for International Day for Women in Maritime is actually women shaping the future of maritime safety. Leave it to women. We're going to make sure that everybody is safe.
Right.
But I also wanted to add, when you were talking about high school students, that there is a high school cadet program. So there's the Bahamas Maritime Cadet Corps program that has been running since 2004. And so they recruit students from grade 10 through 12. And it's a full program basically preparing high school students for a career in maritime, whether they want to go on to LJM or, some of them actually, end up going straight into the industry working on ships. You would have spoken to some of those career options. But that's a really good opportunity. And they too have seen an increase in female enrollment.
Wow.
I don't know the data, but I did a field trip with them and I was amazed at how many young ladies, both on the deck side and on the engineering program, because they have two options in terms of the program. And they are having graduations coming up, and I'm told that the females are doing really well and, going to be getting some of the top awards. So
Excellent.
Yeah, so the future is bright for women in maritime in the Bahamas. I think there are more and more opportunities that we're seeing.
Yeah. With the high school program, how do you sign?
So I would suggest that they contact there's a website, it's the Bahamas Maritime Cadet Corp.com, and they can reach out to the Bahamas Maritime Authority as well, and we'll direct them.
Okay.
So and our number is 3565772.
Okay, excellent. All right, so you mentioned it. There's an event today.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. What's happening today?
So before I get to the event today, I would be remiss if I didn't say, in speaking about women in maritime, that we also have 2 females in leadership for maritime, because maritime falls under the Ministry of Transport and Energy. And so the Honorable Jo Beth Colby Davis is our minister. And also the chairman of the board for the Bahamas Maritime Authority is Ms. Jacqueline Simmons.
Right.
So we're in good hands.
Yeah.
So today's event is actually a panel discussion where we will have 4 very, very qualified panelists talking about very diverse options and their pots in the industry. So we have Glennette Fowler, and she is the CEO for Falco Maritime and Project Services. And again, speaking about onshore and offshore, so they're Freeport-based and doing, quite a bit in terms of maritime logistics. We also have Captain Sandy Campbell with Maritime Courses. We have Lana Bethel, who is with the Port Department, and we have Sub-Lieutenant Opal Farquharson with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. And I took a quick look at their bios, and all of these ladies have very, very diverse pots, but here they are contributing to the maritime industry.
Excellent.
So looking forward to the conversation.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so again, final words of advice to women who are thinking about it, and can you be too old to get into it? Is there ages that this is best for, or what would you say?
You can never be too old. If you're interested and you love traveling, you love being on the water, you love engineering, or you love steering a ship, then you can never say, I'm too old, right? You can definitely do it. You can become a captain of, say, a smaller vessel if you want to do yachting. And that's something that we're going to be bringing on, a yacht program. So they can reach out to us about that if you want to sail internationally on large vessels. 3 years goes pretty fast, especially because it's an everyday class. Every day you're learning something different. You're learning how to tie ropes. You're learning in the simulators. It's really an exciting industry, and every day is something new. So if you're really interested, then start. That's all. Just start. And once you're in it, be encouraged. Speak with other women in the industry. We're all here to help. And I love to see women actually going straight through becoming captains. When she started, she was a cadet. And I believe she has gotten her Master's Unlimited license. And
Master's Unlimited license.
Yes,
Wow.
so that's called a captain, but they call it Master's Unlimited.
Okay.
Right, so that's unlimited tonnage is any size ship.
Oh, really?
In the world, anything. She can become a master captain on it. She's working with a cruise line, and I just love to see more women, more Bahamian women reaching that goal.
Yeah, so you just can't call yourself captain. That's
No,
not how it works.
no. You need a license.
Okay. How do we know how many?
And hours, right?
Yes,
and hours.
and
Wow.
hours.
Do we know how many women captains we have? Do we have a
I
record of
can't
that?
say how many we have. I don't know if the BMA may be able to get that information,
okay.
but there aren't that many. All right. If we have 50, that would be quite a bit.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you definitely need to know how to swim.
Yes, you need to know how to
that's
swim,
important,
and
right?
you need to pass the medical, right? Vision, hearing, all of this is a part of the job.
Okay.
You need to be physically fit, right? Because all ships don't have elevators, so quite a bit of
Ooh,
stairs.
wow.
Even the engineering room could be 4 stories.
Wow.
And a tiny little space.
And a tiny
right?
space
Yeah.
and tiny little stairs
Yeah.
that you have to go up.
Right.
My
So you
goodness.
need to be
and
physically
don't be
fit.
claustrophobic.
No, not at all.
Okay. So specialized skill set.
Yes.
All right. And Leah, again today, who can attend this?
So it's
today?
open to the public, and it is over at the University of the Bahamas. We should have said that. So it's 4 p.m. today, and we are at the F.R. Wilson Graduate Building at the University of the Bahamas. So right when you go in, across from the library, we'll be there, 4 p.m. And if you're interested in attending, yes, by all means, show up. But if you could drop us a quick email to events@bahamasmaritime.com. And also, if you'd like to join us virtually, please send an email to that address as well, and we'll be happy to share the link.
Okay. Excellent. So, and not just for women.
No, of
No,
course not. I mean, diversity, I think people often think it was just like, oh, it's going to be all women. But no, of course not. Men are welcome to attend. And we really want young people to come out and, hear from our panelists. They're very, very diverse, qualified. They're in it. So they know what they're talking about. And, just to highlight the opportunities that are available onshore and offshore in the maritime industry.
Excellent. Let's take this call. Let's see what this call is about. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Apparently, this is Strachan away along with you on your panel, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
You need Justice Lauren and the Bahamas here. But what I want to ask the lady, right? Do the ships, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Is the ship recruit like people would want to do medical work, cooks and, cleaning and stuff like that? Anything pertaining to working on the ship?
Yes, they're always looking for experience, medical field. On the ship, you need a job for everybody. Everybody has to do something. So there are cleaners, there are cooks. Larger ships, there's a whole medical team.
Let me ask you something else. So ladies, like, paint the ship, go in the water, and under the ship, clean under the ship and stuff like that?
No, they would do that in port. So they would normally do that at dry dock. Or if it's a yacht, they would do that at the marina.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. All right. And if you want to get more information about LJM Maritime Academy, how do they
Our
do that?
number is 397-5300, or you can Google us on website. It's LJM Maritime Academy.
Okay. And for the Bahamas Maritime Authority, how do we get, again, remind us of the number?
So our number is 356-5772 here in the Bahamas, but the Bahamas Maritime Authority has a global network of offices. We actually have our main operational office in London, which is maritime headquarters. We have an office in Asia, we have an office in Greece, and we have an office in New York. So no matter where you are around the world, you can find us. And our website is bahamasmaritime.com.
An eye-opening discussion. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Akarsha Smith and Leah Davis. Akarsha, again, the Dean of the LJM Maritime Academy, and Leah Davis with Bahamas Maritime Authority. And happy International Day for Women in Maritime on May 18th.
Correct.
Got it right.
Thank you.
All right.
And thank you so much for having us.
And good luck with the event today.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you all so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break and be back with the final few minutes of Morning Blend Business on this Thursday. Stay with us.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets, you name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
At Simplified Lending, we've unscrambled the loan process, making it fast and hassle-free. Personal, business, medical. You apply, we'll reply in as little as 24 hours. Call us today at 603-1730 or stop by Simplified Lending in the R&D Plaza on JFK Drive. Simplified Lending for simplified living.
Simplified lending for simplified living. Simplified lending for simplified living.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
You've heard of electric cars. Now it's time you drive one. Easy Car Sales welcomes you to experience the power and prestige of the latest electric vehicles. Plug in at home for a 65% discount off your gas bill. Build your dreams of a better future with a better car, the BYD EV. Visit easy242.com to book your free test drive today. Save your money while driving in style, only at Easy Car Sales.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The operator of the scrap metal yard that recently erupted into a blaze says that he provides an important service to the country, but he understands that his neighbors have been bearing with this nuisance. Managing Director at CRT Enterprises, Edward Roll, telling Guardian Business that for the past 10 years they were lobbying for new facilities away from residential areas. He says that for many years they've provided the service for processing and shipping things that need to be recycled around the world. CRT was the only road many years on the outskirts of town before it became zoned for residential use. Read more about his comments in today's Guardian Business section. The Securities Commission of the Bahamas has found that Auto H&L Limited miscalculated the interest on loans for its customers as required under the Rate of Interest Act. The regulator issuing a public notice yesterday saying that subsequent to its follow-up examination in March 2023, the commission engaged the audit firm Baker Tilly to conduct an independent examination focused on interest calculations between 2019 and 2023. It said that the examination confirmed that AHL was in breach of the RIA, and a final report was provided to AHL in January 2024. Now, in the report, it says, in its defense, AHL has asserted that these miscalculations were inadvertent and has agreed to fully reimburse all clients who were impacted. The Securities Commission explained that anyone who may have been affected by these miscalculations may also have had their records lost by AHL as a result of an accident on the business's premises. It says the commission requires to ascertain as best as possible the full population that may have been impacted by the interest miscalculations. The Water and Sewage Corporation says the Treasure Key Abaco pump stations have been completed. The water utility, in a letter, is saying that Treasure Key has undergone a significant upgrade to its sanitary sewer infrastructure thanks to the successful completion of the installation. The initiative, which involved testing, the installation, and commissioning of sewer force mains and pump stations, aimed to improve sanitation and environmental health in the area. And Bristol Wines and Spirits has invested a huge amount of money into the future of agriculture, the future of cooperative manufacturing, and the future of Bahamian-developed spirits, with its new distillery now developing the signature product Amaro and its new brand Bahamas Botanical. The newly constructed distillery, a thing out of a Willy Wonka film, is overlooked by a comfortable seating and observation area clearly outfitted to make groups as comfortable as they can be as they taste batches of the distillery's botanicals. While Amaro is the first finished product off the line produced for distribution, the warehouse and laboratory are chock full of locally grown plants and herb variations that will make the products eventually put on the production line stand out as authentically Bahamian. The main ingredient for Amaro, Cascarilla, comes from right here in the Bahamas. Right now, Bahamas Flyers out of Long Island. Overseas, Walmart reporting another quarter of strong quarterly results as its low prices pull in shoppers scouring for discounts with inflation stubbornly high. The U.S.'s largest retailer, based in Bentonville, Arkansas, also offered an upbeat outlook. Shares rose more than 5% in pre-market trading. Walmart is among the first major U.S. retailers to report quarterly results that could shed some light and insight into how consumers are feeling, particularly after the U.S. government reported an unexpected flattening of spending between April and March. March and April, Americans have remained largely resilient in the face of inflation, bolstered by a strong labor market and steady wages, but there are signs that shoppers are pulling back under the growing weight of higher prices and higher costs of carrying debt. Meanwhile, fewer Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week as layoffs remain at historically low levels, even as other signs that the labor market is cooling have surfaced. Jobless claims for the week ending March 11th fell by 10,000 to 220,000, down from 234. That's according to a Labor Department report. Last week's applications were the most since the final week of August 2023, though it's still a relatively low number of layoffs. The European Union opening fresh investigations today into Facebook and Instagram over suspicions that they're failing to protect children online in violation of the bloc's strict digital regulations for social media platforms. It's the latest round of scrutiny for parent company Meta Platforms under the 27-nation EU's Digital Services Act, a sweeping set of regulations that took effect last year with the goal of cleaning up online platforms and protecting internet users. The European Commission, the bloc's executive arm, said it's concerned that the algorithmic systems used by Facebook and Instagram to recommend content like videos and posts could exploit the weaknesses and inexperience of children and stimulate addictive behavior. It's worried that these systems could reinforce the so-called rabbit hole effect that leads users to increasingly disturbing content. And Japanese automaker Honda reaffirming its commitment to electric vehicles today, saying it will invest 10 trillion yen or $65 billion through fiscal year 2031 to deliver EV. The Tokyo-based company saying in a statement that Honda has not changed its belief that EVs are the most effective solution in the area of small mobility products such as motorcycles and automobiles. By 2030, battery EVs and fuel cell EVs will make up 40% of Honda Motor Company's global auto sales, and will have global production capacity for more than 2 million EVs. The so-called Zero Series, a key part of Honda's EV strategy, will be a totally new EV series called From Zero. The Zero Series will be introduced in North America in 2026 and then rolled out globally with 7 models launched by 2030. In China, Honda will introduce 10 EV models by 2027, with 100% of its auto sales there being EVs by 2035. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday. Your market movers, Consolidated Water closing down 14 cents to $5.79. And Emira Incorporated up 12 cents, closing at $8.89. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,938.91, down 0.02. And that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. We're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Laverne, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
The power's still off.
Yes, it is.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Still thunder and lightning.
No. The rain has stopped. No thunder, no lightning, but no power.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Well, we hope it clears up for you soon. All right, so that severe weather warning, Is that still in effect? Yeah, still. Well, it looks like it was lifted at 8:35. All right, so hopefully not too much longer for you. What I want to do, though, in our final few minutes, we got a whole lot of text messages based on what we were talking about earlier with the cannabis bills being tabled in the House. Many of those we couldn't get to. I want to read some of these as we get ready to wrap up. Laverne, this person says here, I'm afraid for the kids with all of this. I called my sister this morning and told her to make sure my nephew doesn't share lunch with anyone or take candies from any of his concerns about edibles and other products that look like regular food but are laced, is that the right word? Infused with cannabis and related products.
We've already been having an issue with that.
Yeah. So I think somebody texted earlier about lots of kids overdosing on it. But I mean, they consumed food that was, infused with cannabis without their knowledge, maybe without their knowledge.
Yeah.
Or
in some cases,
in some cases, yeah. So that is a challenge, and we're seeing that become more ubiquitous. They're all over the place now, it seems. And some of them look like regular food, and you don't know. So, boy. This person says here, let's read, they need to take a step further and table recreational. Don't hold your breath. I think we read that part already. The fact that you're asking if depression is helped by weed shows me you've never partaken. I told you I have not. Yeah. It's I feel judged. Like, oh, you never smoked weed before? Like, oh my God. Like, okay. Yeah, I haven't. What, we gonna sue me? I don't understand. I'm not judging you, but you sound very judgmental. What do you want to call me, a square? Okay, fine, whatever. Anyway, it's called high when you're depressed, and when you're depressed, you're low. What now? This is okay. Let me put it simply. You can overdrink, but you cannot oversmoke.
Okay.
Oh, well, anyway. Okay, how about you get kind of weird when you don't get what you want, when you don't get your fix? Is that a thing? Because I know some people who clearly... Anyway, I can tell you this. I will grow dope. We can't allow these corrupt politicians to get away with this one. No more monopoly like how they did with the sand and other natural resources. Enough is enough. We're tired. Well, okay. Well, I hope if you just do that like that, I hope you got enough money for the fines or enjoy prison. Right? Now, it's worked for other people. They've continued to break laws until they become the law, right? So you could try it, but it's not going to work like that. Just keep that in mind. This person says, that plant we use during Christmas time with the little red berries is highly poisonous. So are many plants that we grow and sell at almost every plant store. How come none of those are illegal? What are you talking about? Oh, my God. Seriously? Well, people are consuming them and getting sick and going crazy. So, yeah, there are lots of things you shouldn't be eating just because they grow naturally. All kinds of terrible, terrible, terrible products out there all over the world. But the consumption of it, right, and the sale of it, yeah, that's a problem. So you want to ban poinsettias? That's what you're saying? Because, well, who's consuming it? Which psychopath is doing that? But if it were to become a thing, and the kids are like buying it off somebody down the street, and they got people smuggling in to sell it and all that kind of stuff, well, then maybe it will become illegal. That's a terrible example. Very bad. Anyway, it's amazing that marijuana possession under the bill proposes harsher fines than gun possession. I don't think that's correct. Where are you getting that from? I mean, if you... okay. We really have jokey leaders. Okay. People calling all kinds of names here. Wow. Let's see if we can squeeze this call in really quickly. Caller, you have like 20 seconds. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Really quickly.
Yeah, Mr. Strachan, I see you just had fun on me the other day. But anyhow, LeBron, you all right? I think
that's...
Yes. Dwight.
Hi.
You know, I have to agree with you. You know, the last text who said you cannot oversmoke living in, given the fact that the THC concentration is being enhanced via hydroponics, et cetera, et cetera. So it's called deceptive weed because when you're smoking it, You don't know how you're getting until you stop and start meditating. So obviously they are abusing it, but a person, if the weed is good, you wouldn't oversmoke. But you can't oversmoke. He probably might have never smoked out of a chalice before. He went to school in Jamaica, so I just can't allow that to hit the airways like that. You can't actually oversmoke on weed, okay, because of the potency of the strains that they have. Okay,
you can overdo anything, right?
I didn't hear you.
You can overdo anything. You could overdrink water. You could really do it. So
it's called hydrolysis.
Everything is dangerous in excess.
Dwight, I like to say, between you and Nui and CA, this platform needs to be hard, Dwight. I've been reading High Times magazine for over 30 years, okay, Dwight? The information I have, the government can't know. And I want to hear from my diverse people. Some people are afraid to say that they smoke weed. I thought they would have be more honest, given the fact that Obama and Bill Clinton said he smoked it, but he didn't inhale it, which is BS. But what I'm saying is, don't demonize the weed. And as it relates to the poisonous plants, I studied botany for a while in COB. Plants, God made these things. Plants have poisons in order to protect themselves as a mechanism, Dwight.
Absolutely.
Every plant is different.
Yeah.
Give thanks. Yes, we need a dialogue, man. Give thanks,
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. I'm willing to bet money that the people who don't consume are a minority. That's just, I don't know. But hey, everybody just needs to calm down a little bit. And let's rationally talk about all of these issues. I'm sure there'll be a lot of it over the next few weeks, Laverne. Thank you for being here with us this morning. I will talk with you again next week. And
always a pleasure.
Tomorrow, if you want to get yourself worked up and angry before the holiday, tune into Morning Blend. I'm pretty sure plenty of you will be losing your minds over our discussion tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say for now. But tune in if you love being angry. And if you want to see people go crazy, you can tune in too. Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.